Before you pay a hospital bill, ask for these 5 things, because the number on the first bill is not always the number you actually owe. This is especially true if the bill is confusing, if insurance was involved, if the hospital says the balance is due right away, or if the bill feels much higher than you expected. Now, this is general education only. It is not medical, legal, financial, insurance, or benefits advice. Always check your own plan documents, your hospital billing office, Medicare.gov, healthcare.gov, or a qualified advocate for your situation. But if a hospital bill just landed in your mailbox, here is the simple rule. Do not ignore it. Do not panic, pay it. Pause and ask for the paperwork that proves the number. The first thing to ask for is an itemized bill. Do not settle for a one-page statement that just says amount due. Ask the billing department for a detailed bill that breaks down every charge. You want to see the date of service, the department, the service, the supply, the medication, the procedure code if available, and the charge attached to each line. Why does this matter? Because mistakes can hide inside vague totals. You might see a duplicate charge. You might see a medication you do not remember receiving. You might see a room charge, supply charge, lab charge, or imaging charge that needs an explanation. An itemized bill does not automatically make the bill wrong, but it gives you something to check. The second thing to ask for is your explanation of benefits. If insurance was involved, the hospital bill should not be the only document you look at. Your insurance company may also issue an explanation of benefits, often called an EOB. The EOB usually shows what was billed, what the plan allowed, what the plan paid, what was denied, and what the plan says is your responsibility. That patient responsibility number is the number you want to compare against the provider bill. If the hospital says you owe one number, but the EOB says your share is a different number, that is a question. Call the billing office and the insurance company. Ask them to explain the difference before you pay. The third thing to ask for is the documentation behind the bill. That can mean visit notes, discharge paperwork, medical records, referral information, authorization records, or whatever documentation applies to the service. The point is simple. The bill should match the record. If you were billed for a test, supply, medication, or service, there should usually be documentation showing it happened. If something looks unfamiliar, do not accuse anyone right away. Ask a calm question. Can you help me understand where this charge appears in my records? That question is much better than saying, this bill is wrong, before you have the paperwork.
The fourth thing to ask for is the hospital's financial assistance or charity care policy. This is the step many people miss because they assume financial help is only for people with no insurance. That is not always true. Some hospitals have financial assistance programs, discount policies, hardship programs, or charity care applications. The rules vary by hospital and by state, but it is worth asking before you set up a payment plan. Ask these exact questions. Do you have a financial assistance application? Can you send me the policy in writing? Can my account be paused while the application is reviewed? If I qualify, will the balance be reduced or adjusted? Do not assume the first payment plan offer is the best option. The fifth thing to check is whether any surprise billing or dispute protections might apply. This does not apply to every bill, but for certain emergency services, certain out-of-network services at in-network facilities, and certain situations involving uninsured or self-pay estimates, there may be extra protections. If the bill is much higher than expected, or if an out-of-network provider appears on a bill from an in-network facility, slow down and check your rights before paying. You can start with CMS, healthcare.gov, your state insurance department, or the No Surprises Help Desk. Again, not every bill qualifies, but if you pay first and ask questions later, it may be harder to unwind. So here is the full 5-step checklist. Ask for the itemized bill, compare the explanation of benefits, ask for the records behind the charges, request the financial assistance policy, and check whether surprise billing or dispute protections apply. And one more practical tip. Keep a simple call log. Write down the date, the phone number, the person you spoke with, what they said, and what they promised to send. If you upload documents through a portal, take screenshots. If you mail something, keep proof. If someone says the account is on hold, ask for that in writing. This is not about fighting every bill. It is about not paying a confusing bill before you understand what it is. If this helped, follow the Healthcare Money Map for plain English help with medical bills, insurance paperwork, and healthcare money questions before you pay.